Greetings from South Korea. I am Adang, Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news making headlines today. U.S. President Donald Trump says a South Korean-operated cargo ship that reported an explosion in the Strait of Hormuz was attacked by Iran. Speaking at the White House on Tuesday, Trump said the vessel and other ships had been shot at by Iran after deciding to cross the critical waterway alone, adding that ships guarded by the U.S. remained safe. On the same day, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio officially announced that Operation Epic Fury, the offensive phase of the U.S. campaign that began in late February, is over, and that a defensive project of freedom was underway. However, later on Tuesday, Trump took to social media to say the project would be paused for a short period due to requests from Pakistan and great progress in talks with Iran. President Lee Jae-myung has called for a partial constitutional revision, a day ahead of parliamentary voting on a constitutional amendment. At a cabinet meeting on Wednesday, he noted that the nation has gone through many changes, but its constitution has remained the same since 1987. He added that full-scale revision is not easy, given differing political interests, but partial and gradual revision is possible on areas deemed less contentious. The revision put forward intends to tighten rules on declaring martial law and include the spirit of the May 18 democratization movement in the Constitution. On the economic front, Korea's benchmark KOSPI broke through the 7,000 mark for the first time ever this morning. The index opened more than 2% higher at 7,093, and at one point surged into the 7,300 range shortly after the opening bell. The breakthrough came just over 2 months after the KOSPI first crossed the 6,000 level in late February. Strong buying momentum also triggered a buy-side sidecar soon after the open, halting buy orders for 5 minutes. Market heavyweights Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix were among the main drivers behind the gains. Korea's consumer prices rose 2.6% on-year in April, driven by soaring fuel costs. The Ministry of Data and Statistics said on Wednesday that the consumer price index for April rose 2.6% from a year earlier. On a monthly basis, prices increased 0.5%, while the annual inflation rate saw its sharpest increase in 21 months. Petroleum prices led the overall rise in inflation, surging 21.9% and more than doubling the pace of increase from the previous month. Meanwhile, agricultural, livestock, and fisheries prices fell 0.5%, while service prices climbed 2.4%. South Korea's tourism ministry said on Wednesday that it will expand financial support for the tourism industry. Through a supplementary budget, the ministry has added 200 billion won or nearly $140 million to its tourism fund loan program. That includes around $20 million to support tourism startups less than 7 years old. Separately, the ministry also said it will offer discounts on train tickets for foreign tourists through early next month in collaboration with travel platform Klook, in a bid to boost regional tourism. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.